Hi, it's Dennis Daly. The golden age of radio was one of the shortest golden ages of all time, yet during its run, radio brought about immense change in America. Radio brought us through the Depression and the Second World War, and then struggled on until television finally won the battle for supremacy in American media. Radio had begun just after the turn of the last century as dots and dashes, listened to by do-it-yourself radio enthusiasts. Then early voice transmissions brought radio into its first age. By the 30s, the techniques were perfected, the networks were in place, and radio was on its way. The war changed everything, as did the coming of television. On the night of September 30th, 1962, when yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and Suspense signed off on the CBS radio network, the golden age ended. But radio's final 25 years were golden indeed. So join me now as we explore radio's last 25 years. 1953 was the year Joseph Stalin died. The Soviets announced they had caught up with the U.S. by setting off their own hydrogen bomb. Branded a communist during the Red Scare, movie megastar Charlie Chaplin moved to Europe in 1953, saying he would never come back. The Yankees again won the World Series, again over Brooklyn, 4-2. And on radio, even though it was 1953, the big band era continued, with all the major networks having weekend live-on-tape programs from various venues. We'll go to Birdland, and then we'll go out west, where Gene Autry was continuing his famous Melody Ranch series.
From Birdland, the jazz corner of the world, NBC presents Stars in Jazz. There's only one band in the whole world that swings like that. Ladies and gentlemen, from Birdland, the jazz corner of the world, right here at 52nd Street and Broadway in the heart of New York City. Stars in Jazz, tonight featuring Count Basie and his all-star orchestra. And getting things off to a roaring start. Here in Birdland tonight, Count Basie, the orchestra, and Preview with Paul Cunichet. Vice Prez, Paul Quinochet. And our first tune for tonight from here in the jazz corner of the world, Birdland. Count Bass in the orchestra now, anticipating the new year with, you should excuse the expression, jingle bells. Jingle bells. Never had it quite so good. With that swinging version, we could hear it 365 days in the year. Mr. Basie, we have Why Not scheduled in the number 2 spot, which becomes number 3? Oh. All right. Well, instead of why not play our song, Lullaby of Birdland. Count Basie, the orchestra, Lullaby of Birdland. And right about now, with tenor sax in hand. What? Oh, good. Why not? All right, Count Basie, the orchestra. I give up. Why not? Why not? Count Basie in the orchestra. We weren't too sure about that last tune, but we're sure that you're listening to NBC all along the so-called party line. And we're broadcasting from Birdland, the jazz corner of the world, right here at 52nd Street and Broadway in the heart of New York City. But now, retaining the casual atmosphere here at Birdland, instead of resorting to the script, we shall consult with Mr. Basie. And what'll it be, sir? Well, the Prez, with sax in hand, tenor that is, Lester Young, jumping at the Woodside, hey. That was Jumpin' at the Woodside, as if you didn't know. Now Count Basie in the orchestra, and Paradise Squad with Eddie Davis featured on tenor. can we say? Only to the uninitiated ear, we can assure you this is the finest of modern band music. For the last 24 minutes and 13 or 14 seconds, the National Broadcasting Company has sent your way across this nation the music of Count Basie and his ever-loving orchestra. Coming to you directly from the jazz corner of the world, Birdland, right here at 52nd Street and Broadway in the heart of New York City. NBC then has brought you Stars in Jazz with Count Basie and the orchestra. So till next time, Fred Collins, your announcer, wishing you all, each and every one, a very pleasant good night and good listening.
Now a real change of pace from Birdland to Melody Ranch, all from 1953.
He's back in the saddle again.
Yes, it's time once again for Melody Ranch and Gene Autry.
I'm back in the saddle again, out where a friend is a friend, where the longhorn cattle feed on the lowly Jimson weed. I'm back in the saddle again.
That's right, folks. Your friendly local merchant who sells and displays healthful, refreshing, delicious double mint chewing gum invites you to another transcribed Sunday night visit with all the gang here at Melody Ranch. There's Pat Buttram, the Cass County Boys, the Gene Autry Blue Jeans, Carl Cotner's Melody Ranch Hardway 6 featuring Alvino Ray, and yours truly, Charlie Lyon. Right now, though, meet the boss man himself, America's favorite cowboy, Gene Autry.
Tweedle-o-twill, puffin' on corn silk. Tweedle-o-twill, whittling wood, setting there wishing he could go fishing over the hill. Tweedle-o-twill, tweedle-o-twill, oh, don't he look drowsy? Tweedle-o-twill, nodding his head, I bet he feels lazy, clucking that daisy, getting a thrill. Tweedle-o-twill, tweedle-o-twill, bobbing and weaving. Tweedle-o-twill, wading in corn, taking it easy, out where it's breezy, better be still. Tweedle-o-twill. Well, howdy there, friends and neighbors. Welcome once more to Melody Ranch. Yes, indeed, the whole gang's waiting to say hello, and chances are that hello will include an invitation to enjoy plenty of delicious, refreshing double mint chewing gum. You see, folks, we always have an extra supply of that grand double mint gum to pass around whenever folks drop in. Incidentally, that's a friendly custom the visitors at your home will appreciate, too. Guess that's because everybody likes swell double mint. Yet it costs so little that you can enjoy it and keep enough on hand for both your guests and your whole family to enjoy. Why not buy several packages at a time? That's delicious, refreshing, double mint chewing gum. I like it. And now, here's one of the prettier current ballads. Seems to be quite a public favorite, too. It goes as follows. I saw half of a photograph, and it took my breath away. For that face on that photograph was my love of yesterday.
It was only half a picture. There was still another part.
But somebody tore that picture like the way she tore my heart. Somewhere I'm on the other hand. If you find it, you will see that her half of the photograph has a smile she meant for me.
It was only half a picture. There was still another part.
But somebody tore that picture like the way she tore my heart. Somewhere I'm on the other hand. If you find it, you will see that her half of the photograph has a smile she meant for me.
That's real pretty, Gene.
Well, thank you, neighbors. Many, many thanks. And now...
Howdy.
Well, howdy. And now...
Don't suppose there's any chance of borrowing the loan of a couple of bucks from you till payday, is there?
No, there's no chance of borrowing a couple of bucks from me till payday. And now I want to...
How about $1?
Look, Buster, the answer is still no. N-O. Not a buck. Not a quarter. Not a dime. Not even a halfpenny.
Well, why?
Because you're too lazy to work, that's why.
Are you kidding? Why should I work?
Well, so you can make money, for one thing.
Why?
So you can put it in the bank and save it.
Well, why?
So you can retire and not have to work.
Why go to all that trouble when I ain't working now?
I'll say one thing for you, Buttram. You aren't one to exert yourself unnecessarily.
Not if I can help it, I ain't. That reminds me, did I ever tell you about the woman running over one of our chickens?
Well, when did this all happen?
This afternoon. Oh. I was busy resting at the time, though, so I didn't even bother to get out of my rocking chair.
So?
So the lady that done the running over, she come walking up to the porch where I was rocking away, and she says, "I'm terribly sorry, young man, but I just run over one of your hens, and I'd like to replace her."
Well, that was nice of her. What did you say?
What could I say? I just told her, I said, "That's okay with me, lady, providing you can lay an egg."
You know, sometimes I wonder about you, Buttram.
You ain't the only one. When I was just a little baby, I was born at a very early age, you know, and my mama and papa, they didn't know what they wanted me to be. So one day Papa said to Mama, he says, "I know a sure way to find out." Well, sir, right then and there, Papa put a Bible, a dollar bill, and an apple on the floor. And he sent me crawling into the room alone to see what I'd do. He claimed that if I took the Bible, I'd be a preacher. If I took the apple, I'd be a farmer. And if I took the dollar, I'd be a banker.
Oh. Well, I know I'm very silly for asking. But which one did you take?
Well, sir, first I picked up the apple, put that in my mouth. Then I picked up the dollar bill, put it in my pocket. Then I picked up the Bible, put it under my arm, and walked out. So Papa says, "Well, what do you know, Mama? That boy of ours is going to be a politician."
Now, that's what I call a very wise observation. Say, by the way, did you wash the dishes, clean the house, scrub the floors, beat the carpets, hang the curtains, chop the wood, milk the cows and feed the chickens like I told you to do this morning?
No, but don't worry, I will. I'll do them. And I'll also shovel the snow off of the sidewalk.
Wait just a minute there, Buster. Huh? There's no snow on the sidewalks this time of the year?
No, but there will be by the time I get done with the rest of them jobs. So long, Mr. Arter.
Well, so long, Patrick, old boy. We'll check with you again in a few minutes. Meantime, let's all give a careful listen to the Cass County Boys singing a brand new song called...
Oh, sweet mama, treetop tall, won't you kindly turn your damper down? I can smell those cakes of burning honey, they done burn plum brown. Since ham went up to $1 a pound, I eat so many rabbits I just hop all around. Oh, sweet mama, treetop tall, won't you kindly turn your damper down? Oh, sweet mama, treetop tall, won't you kindly turn your damper down? I can smell those cakes of burning honey, they done burn plum brown.
There was a Dominick, a rooster, and a Shanghai hen. They run around together, but they ain't no kin.
Oh, sweet mama, treetop tall, won't you kindly turn your damper down? of burning honey, they done burn plum brown.
You make the best hot biscuits with the honey, too. But I tell you, baby, nothing sweet as you.
Oh, sweet mama, treetop tall, won't you kindly turn your damper down? Turn it down, turn it down, turn it down, turn it down. Mama, turn your damper
Ah, Cass County boys, you really wrapped that one up nice. Incidentally, speaking of wrapping things up, did you ever hear the expression, good things come in small packages? Well, sir, delicious, refreshing double mint chewing gum sure proves that point for me. Yes, indeed, friends, with 5 sticks of that grand double mint gum in my hand, I know there's many a good thing coming my way. For instance, I know I'm going to enjoy some mighty smooth, pleasant chewing with a flavor that's always a treat for my taste. What's more, Grand Double Mint Gum is a great aid for digestion after meals. Helps keep your teeth bright and clean, too. And that delicious double mint flavor freshens your taste, makes your mouth and throat moist and comfortable. So you see what I mean? When it comes to chewing satisfaction, you're going to get the most from those 5 sticks of delicious, refreshing double mint chewing gum. And now, friends, here's a song I had the pleasure of recording not too many years ago. You seemed to like it then. Here's hoping you still like it now. In the blue Canadian Rockies, spring is sighing through the trees. And the golden poppies are blooming round the banks of Lake Louise. Across the sea they call me, and I'm lonesome and so blue. For the blue Canadian Rockies and the girl I love so true. Across the sea they call me, and I'm lonesome and so blue. For the blue Canadian Rockies and the girl I love so true. There's a little old church in the valley where I first learned of sorrow and joy. You know, neighbors, not far from right here at Melody Ranch is a place called Willow Valley. And there, nestled among the trees, is a church. A little church that the song you just heard the boys and girls singing could very well have been written about. Yet a church that might never have been built had it not been for a man named Cyrus Carter. However, as fate often wills it, Cyrus Carter didn't live to see his dream become a reality. As a matter of fact, it was just 2 weeks before the Sunday his church was to be dedicated that Cyrus Carter passed away, leaving his wife and son to carry on his work. And that's where this story begins.
I do hope I'm not keeping you from anything, Jane, but, well, you're the only one I know to turn to.
Believe me, I'm mighty flattered to think that you would, Mrs. Carter.
Well, I mean it. But I'm afraid this isn't something you asked for, like a church pledge. You see, it's about our son, Ben.
Ben? He isn't in any kind of trouble, is he?
Oh, no, not really. I guess being a mother, I'm just a little disappointed, that's all. You see, Gene, Cyrus's fondest dream was that one day Ben would follow in his footsteps and carry on his work. Well, now, since his father's gone, something seems to have changed him.
How do you mean changed him, Miss Carter?
Well, he told me last night that he wants to go away, Gene. He wants to forget all about the church. He wants to build a whole new life for himself.
I see. And can you think of any reason for this sudden change?
Oh, I only wish I could. Naturally, I don't want to force him into doing something he no longer cares about, but, well, I thought you might be better able to talk with him about it.
Well, believe me, I'll be glad to, Mrs. Carter. That is, if you really think it'll do any good.
And I don't know, Gene. I don't honestly know that it will. But Ben thinks the world of you. That much I do know.
Tell me, is he still living at the house with you?
No, Gene, he's staying out in Willow Valley by himself. He's fixed up one of the back rooms in the new church.
In that case, I'll go right out to see him this afternoon. Don't worry, Miss Carter. Ben's a fine young man. You saw to that. He can't go too far wrong. And so, Ben, that's it. That's why I came over here to talk to you.
I guessed as much. Look, Gene, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told my mother. It's my life, and I'm going to get out of it what I want.
No one's disputing your right to do that.
Then what's this all about, anyway?
Your mother just wants to make sure that you really get those things you want, Ben, that's all.
Well, one thing's a cinch. I'm not going to get them here. I've lived, eaten, and slept in a church all my life. I even went to theological school to learn how to become a minister, because that's what my mom and Dad wanted me to do. But then Dad died, and somehow nothing after that made any sense. It couldn't. No matter how I added it up, I got the same answer. He'd given his time, his money, his food, finally his life to others. And for what? When he died, all he left was a mortgaged house, a lot of unpaid bills, and a half-finished church that's never opened its doors.
Aren't you forgetting an awful lot of people who'll never forget him for his kindness and help?
Maybe. But aren't you forgetting kindness and help don't buy clothes and groceries?
They buy a lot more than that, Ben. They buy happiness. And when it came to counting that kind of wealth, your dad was one of the richest men I ever knew.
Look, Gene, that kind of talk sounds good. Maybe it listens okay for somebody else, but not for me. I'm leaving here just as soon as I can get enough money to do it.
Okay, Ben. If that's the way you feel about it, I guess there's not much more I can say.
That's the way I feel about it. I'm sorry, Gene. I hope you understand.
Let's just say I wish you luck.
Thanks. We'll keep in touch, huh?
Right, Ben. So long.
So long.
Funny, isn't it? I mean, how much importance so many of us attach to the material things in life, and how little heed we pay to the spiritual things that many times mean so much more. Anyway, getting back to the story, on the following Saturday, I remember I was going over the current bills in my back room when all of a sudden... Hello?
Hello, Gene. Sheriff Dillon.
Oh, hello, Jim.
Get your boys together and head for Willow Valley right away, will you, Gene?
Why? What's up?
Well, some guy just held up the Ranchers Loan Exchange here in town and got away with $5,000. We think he's headed out toward Willow Valley. I sent a posse out from here, so I figure if you and your boys head him off from the other way, we ought to make contact somewhere near the new church.
Right, Jim.
Oh, yeah. One other thing. Now, this guy's trigger-happy, so watch it.
Don't worry. We'll leave within 5 minutes.
Good.
So long. Willow Valley, huh?
Hello.
Hello, Ben. This is Gene.
Oh, yeah, Gene. What's on your mind?
Some guy just held up the Ranchers Loan Exchange in town and got away with $5,000.
What?
They think he's headed out your way, but so is the sheriff's posse. So I just called to tell you to keep your eyes open.
Oh, gosh, thanks, Gene. Thanks for tipping me off. I'll keep a careful lookout.
Right. So long, Ben.
Okay, chum, reach and freeze.
Who are you?
Never mind that. Just keep those hands up nice and high where I can see them.
Well, you must be the one who just held up the Ranchers Loan Exchange.
Well, now, news sure travels fast around here, don't it? Yeah, I'm the guy, all right. And for your information, mister, there's $5,000 in this bag that you're going to see that I keep.
Oh, no, I'm not. You won't get away with it. They'll find you here.
I doubt that. I doubt it very much. Especially when you tell them you ain't seen me.
Hey, what are you going to do?
First, I'm going to hide this dough in your closet. Like this. There. That ought to do it. Now, you got any grub around here?
No.
Don't give me that stuff. Fix me up something and make it fast. We'll be back as soon as I hide my horse. And, oh, yeah. Just in case you might want to call somebody to tell them I'm here, pulling up these telephone wires ought to take care of that. Now, hurry it up. I'm hungry. Why, you...
Don't reach, mister. You're covered from all sides.
Oh, yeah? Well, you ain't taking Rocky Sims alive.
Let him have it, boy.
Well, sir, by the time me and the boys from Melody Ranch got out to the church, the excitement was all over. One deputy had been hit, but not seriously. But the guy we were after, Rocky Sims, was dead. The sheriff told me they hadn't been able to find all the stolen money, though. Said he figured the dead guy had probably hidden it somewhere along the trail, intended to pick it up later. But somehow that explanation didn't quite ring true to me, so I went back to talk to Ben about it.
Yeah, who is it? Gene, what are you doing out here?
Hello, Ben. Getting ready to go somewhere?
No, I just decided to leave sooner than I expected, that's all.
Oh. Kind of a sudden decision, isn't it?
Sudden? Oh, yeah, you see, I figured there was no point in my sticking around any longer. It'd just make Mom and everyone else more unhappy than they already are.
Yeah, I guess you're right at that. Oh, by the way, I suppose you heard they haven't found the stolen money from that stick-up in town yet.
Oh?
The sheriff thinks they may find it hidden along the back trail somewhere.
Yeah, sounds logical.
Maybe. Funny, isn't it? I bet a lot of guys would like to get their hands on that much money. Just think, $5,000 in unmarked bills.
What are you driving at?
Oh, nothing. I was just wondering what I'd do if I had that kind of money. Guess I'd buy a lot of things, but I doubt if I'd be able to sleep much at night.
Look, Gene, like I said...
I know. You're in a hurry to leave. Well, guess I'll be going.
What are you looking at me like that for?
I was just recalling a passage your dad used to quote ever so often from the Bible. It went, "What shall it profit a man if he gaineth the whole world and loseth his soul?" Well, so long, Ben. Take it easy. Well, friends, the next day was Sunday, and as Pat and I walked in to take our seats for the morning services, the congregation was just finishing singing the opening hymn.
Hey, Gene, look. There's Miss Carter down front, all by herself.
Yeah, I see her, Pat.
Gosh, you'd think Ben at least would be here if for no other reason than just that his mom wants him to be. By the way, who's preaching the sermon this morning, do you know?
Reverend Lewis from over at Rimrock, I think.
Oh, sure. He's a nice fella.
Shh. He's coming out now.
Hey, Gene, look. It's Ben. I thought you said that...
Quiet, Pat, quiet. Listen.
Good friends, the subject of my sermon this morning was inspired by a favorite passage of my father's from the Old Testament. It reads, "What shall it profit a man if he gaineth the whole world and loseth his soul?" First, however, let us all rise and sing hymn number 146.
There's a little old church in the valley where I first learned of sorrow and joy.
I can see Mother there with her head bowed in prayer as she prays for her wandering boy. It was there that I first found my Sally, like an angel on earth, so it seems, when she sang sweet and low in the long, long ago, in the little old church of my dreams.
There's a little old church in the valley where I first learned of sorrow and joy.
I can see Mother there with her head bowed in prayer as she prays for her wandering boy. It was there that I first found my Sally, like an angel on her, so it seems, when she sang sweet and low in the long, long ago, in the little old church of my dreams.
Oh, Mr. Artery, just like always, I've had a wonderful time at our get-together. I just hope everybody else had as much fun as I did.
Well, I hope so too, Patrick. One thing's sure, though. All the folks here are friends and neighbors. So I've noticed they most generally like the same things we do, which incidentally includes plenty of delicious, refreshing double mint chewing gum. Believe me, that's something I'm always glad to hear because, to my mind, Grand Double Mint Gum is in a class all by itself. A swell taste treat and a swell chewing treat that's mighty pleasant and satisfying to enjoy often every day. That's delicious, refreshing double mint chewing gum. Well, good friends and neighbors, guess that just about ties all the loose ends for this Sunday night's Melody Ranch Front Parlor Social. But me and the whole gang will all be back again next week at this same time and over these same CBS radio stations. Incidentally, folks, beginning this coming Wednesday, September 23rd, I'm going to be appearing in person at the big Madison Square Garden World Championship Rodeo in New York City. Hope to see lots of you Eastern friends of mine then. Meanwhile, this is Gene Autry for Double Mint, asking you to keep thinking of us until we're back in the saddle again. Out where a friend is a friend, where the longhorn cattle feed on the lowly Jimson weed, I'm back in the saddle again, riding the range once more, toting my old 44, where you sleep out every night and the only law is right, back in the saddle again.
Yes, folks, next week over these same CBS stations, the Wrigley people will again present Gene Autry, who may currently be seen in his new Columbia picture, Pack Train. This is Charles Lyon. This program was transcribed
over the CBS Radio Network.
I'm Dennis Daly. Thanks for going along on our journey through the final 25 years of radio. Radio's golden years. Join me again next time.